My life, my life, my life, my life, and the sunshine. My whole life is real. Morning, noons, and nights is real. What I spit and I write is real. Man, most deaf, the new danger? Woo wee! Man, I'm gonna have to bang that when I wrap this up. There's a whole bunch of music I just be listening to as we do the show. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. On a hot and humid Wednesday here in the Midwest, make sure you're hydrated as you follow us. Like and subscribe. We love it when y'all do that for the content. Got some stories today for you on an action-packed Wednesday. Brandon Aiyuk and the 49ers, now they're talking about a trade. So trade me now after everything we've been through. And I think we've chronicled it on our channel going back to February and not the not too distant past. We'll go ahead and cover that. Sharon Moore, he could be facing sanctions at Michigan. Wolverines, Wolverine alumni, Wolverine Nation. Let me know what you all think about that. That's coming out of CBS Sports. Then we're going to talk some association basketball. We're going to talk about JJ Redick and the LA Lakers. He's filled up his coaching staff, and could this potentially be one of the best coaching staffs no one's talking about? Or is this just patchwork to get him through the season? This and many more stories when we come back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Bam, 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 ba, ba, ba. I'm loving it. McDonald's. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Gonna start in the NFL, and now the 49ers are willing to trade Brandon Aiyuk. Yep. And I remember when I put on this page, I said, hey, look, he has all the leverage. If he doesn't play again, hold tight. They're going to have to go ahead and bend to your demands. And then I had people in the comment section telling me that he had no leverage and it was blah, 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 blah. Now, it turns out that I'm right. So I'll go ahead and take a small victory lap. Yes. Those victory laps, they keep me in shape, and then I feast on your tears. I feast on the tears of dumbass fans. Now, this is coming out of CBS, and Jordan DeJohnny. A resolution to the Brandon Aiyuk saga may be on the horizon, according to NFL media. Contract talks between San Francisco and their star wideout have stalled for quite some time. Shocker, we were talking about this back in February. However, continue. And it's more likely that Aiyuk is traded more than he would work out a long-term extension with the 49ers. No deal is in place right now, despite rampant speculation found on social media. But it feels like we are close to a decision being made, as multiple teams are reportedly in play. Now, that comes from The Atlantic, where they talk about Cleveland, New England, the Patriots, and the Steelers. They all seem to have interest in his services. Now, I'm going to go ahead and throw a flag on the play. When it comes to New England, they can't pay Matthew Judon because he's asking for money. And we covered that story Monday, where everybody's trying to placate and talk to the media and trying to play the Patriot tightwads as some groundbreaking organization when they historically have ripped players off. Yeah, I don't need to play nice. I don't care to talk to you people. We can look at what's in print and we can just ask questions. And this man is sitting there saying that, hey, look, he doesn't have an agent. He doesn't have a publicist or anything. He's just like, look, pay me. And so if you can't pay Matthew Judon, how the hell are you going to pay Brandon Aiyuk? Again, let's just stop. Pittsburgh, I don't know. They got a new OC. That's the guy who used to coach the Atlanta Falcons, who was also a coordinator at Tennessee when they ran and had a pretty good run. He's already got Russell Wilson. Russell's playing for basically nothing. And then they got Justin Fields to back him up. Another trade for absolutely nothing. They've gutted and they got some pieces. We're 2 or 3 days away from the preseason kicking off. We just had the Hall of Fame game. And we're less than 30 days away from opening day in the NFL. So if they were going to have to pull the trigger on getting Brandon Aiyuk, it needs to be sometime this week. If it's going to work out, it needs to be sometime this week. Now, the Browns are sniffing around, and the Patriots, again, they're not serious. We were talking about that. There are two parts to any potential Brandon Aiyuk trade. And we're talking about the contract and the compensation. We'll get into those two when we come back from a quick 20 from a rap album we're promoting this month. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yo, you're not going to believe this, but we got another hip-hop pick. Da-da-da-ba-ba. Freeway, Jake 1. The Stimulus Package Part 2 in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it's Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. Favorites on the album: Time, Philly, Ringin', and Heartbreaker. Many more. Get the album. It's out now. Yeah, the Stimulus Package Part 2 is crazy. Shout out to Freeway and Jake 1. When we last left off, we was talking about two parts of any potential Aiyuk trade. We were talking about the contract and the trade compensation. Now, any teams that want to go after him will have to sign him to a new contract immediately. And how much is he worth? Now, that's the wrong question, and I posed that to Jordan DeJohnny in this article. I would say, how bad do you want to win a Super Bowl? Because my guess is bad, really bad, and if I'm a weapon away from getting there, I guess I pull the trigger on this guy, because I want to go ahead and reach the top of that mountain. As far as San Francisco, it's got to be what will they accept? Because that's the second component. What are you going to accept? Because it's all been smoke and mirrors to this point. And I'll tell you why the smoke and mirrors thing. Because because they granted his agent to field teams in the 2024 NFL draft. And I know a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that. And that was my speculation going in when the both sides couldn't reach a deal back in February. I was like, why are they pushing this off to the summer? Then the light bulb came on. Oh, the NFL draft. And I was just like, okay, if they're going to push this off to the summer, they must have a plan to actually get players by way of the draft or broker some sort of trade. And they gave his agent authorization to start getting offers. But when they couldn't finesse a first round pick out of anyone, then they threw cold water on an Aiyuk deal. Even though there were 5 teams that would pay him what he's worth, which is $28 million. So let's stop. Let's stop the whole insanity that this man didn't have any leverage. The San Francisco 49ers were looking to effectively gut a team. They wanted those teams' number 1 picks. Those teams were not willing to part with a number 1 pick. They were willing to go ahead and pay his salary. So the 49ers effectively killed a deal in a trade. They don't want to pay you. They want to go ahead and use you as bait to see what the market is. Now that they have a market, is what can we extort from another team so we can go ahead and send you there for the $28 million. You see how this works? You see how this works? Again, I'm going to take another victory lap. Yes, all those victory laps keep me in shape, and I feast on your tears. I feast on the tears of dumbass fans. So, again, we were right all along. The 49ers had no intent on paying this guy. And they are willing to string this out if they can't extort another team and get what they want out of another team. Because, again, they had 5 teams repeatedly, and this was told by the agent, 5 teams that had interested in him, and they were going to pay him the $28 million. That was one part of the contract. The compensation part is what can San Francisco get. And San Francisco, they won't accept any and everything, especially if they're letting him go. You can see it from 2 sides of the coin. Now, how good is Aiyuk? His 179 yards per reception ranked second in the NFL among qualified players behind George Pickens, while his 3.1 yards per route run ranked third behind Tyreek Hill and Nico Collins. While the 49ers feel they can play with this man is beyond me. But him and that kind of company of a player just shows you his pedigree. So either trade the man or let him go somewhere else. He trade him or pay him at this point. You gotta trade him or pay him. He's worth it. He's worth it. And so am I, damn it. So am I. Thanks for being right, Vernon. You're welcome, Vern. That was creepy. All right. Talking about myself in a third person and then answering myself in a third person. 49er fan, get in here and let me know how you feel. Do you feel like Brandon's being unreasonable? Or do you feel as if the 49er organization has fallen from grace? This and many more questions. We'll be back. I'm cooking. This is Big Vern. Happy Wednesday.